And you are live.
Live! How's it going, guys? Today, I'm going to read another excerpt from The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. Great book, go check it out. Today's passage is called Resistance's Greatest Hits. The following list, in no particular order, are the activities that most commonly elicit resistance. Number 1. The pursuit of any calling in writing, painting, music, film, dance, or any creative arts, however marginal or unconventional. Number 2, the launching of any entrepreneurial venture or enterprise for profit or otherwise. 3, any diet or health regimens. So, be careful, be aware if you might be feeling resistance coming to the gym or starting a new lifestyle change in relation to the food that you are eating. And that's very important. I want people to think of changing their diets as not as a diet, but you're just changing your lifestyle to give yourself better health in the end. It's just kindness to yourself. Anyways, number 4, any program of spiritual advancements, any program that's going to open up that crown chakra, make you feel connected to the world. Any activity, number 5, any activity whose aim is tighter abdominals. I like that, because there are lots of things in today's world, the way that we operate on a day-to-day basis, the way that we sit, it really tends to take away from our core strength, which is extremely important, not just for exercise, but for feeling connected all around. Walking down the streets, washing dishes, doing everything that you do, you should feel embodied, if that makes sense. Number 6, any course or program designed to overcome an unwholesome habit or addiction. I have personally struggled with this one in the past, as I have overcome some addictions myself, and there is a lot of resistance in trying to iron in those new neural pathways associated with doing anything different, especially if you have very well-developed neural pathways for doing something in particular, like mine was an opiate addiction at one point, or a pornography addiction at one point, and to be able to go in and reconfigure my brain, there's a lot of resistance to that. So if you're facing an addiction, just be aware, okay? Just be aware whenever you get those urges, and be aware of the resistance that you feel whenever you try to change these things. Awareness helps a whole lot. Number 7, education of every time. I know I always feel resistance anytime I go to sit down and read a book, or to even turn on an Audible program. For whatever reason, there's just something that tells me to turn on music instead, or jump around and go eat some food instead of reading that book. So be aware of that resistance, it helps. Number 8, any act of political, moral, or ethical courage, including the decision to change for the better, some unworthy pattern of thought or conduct in ourselves. There's always resistance when trying to be a better person, right? Number 9, the undertaking of any enterprise or endeavor whose aim is to help others. Yeah, getting outside of ourselves. There can be a lot of resistance associated with that. Number 10, any act that entails commitment of the heart. The decision to get married, to have a child, to weather a rocky patch in a relationship. It's always easier to keep our hearts guarded. It's always easier to not open up to the world, to not display our pure selves because maybe we've had bad experiences in the past. But my man Elliot Holt said that it's always better put your heart out there, even if it gets stomped on every time. And that's been my personal experience as well. Number 11, the taking of any principled stand in the face of adversity. Man, that's a really big one. That's a really freaking big one. there's always a lot of resistance anytime you have to, go against the flow, especially if there's people that you love or people that you're close to who are telling you to go a certain way, or maybe, like I said in the one kind of before it, if you have some sort of bad experience, something kind of crappy going on in your life, it's always hard to stay positive. It's always hard to move in that right direction whenever things aren't going right for you. I feel like that's where a lot of true strength lies. It's in our ability to move forward even when things suck. That was the end of that list, and the passage goes on to say, in other words, any act that rejects immediate gratification in favor of long-term growth, health, or integrity, or, expressed another way, any act that derives from our higher nature instead of our lower. Any of these will elicit resistance. Now, what are the characteristics of resistance? That will be covered in tomorrow's reading, or at least partially. So guys, I want you to take this information you gathered here today. Be aware of all the situations in which resistance comes up in your life, whether it's creative, whether it's starting that new diet, whether it's opening your heart to the world, whether it's facing adversity, and just bring awareness to that resistance, to that feeling that tells you not to do that. Because being aware of it is the first step. Thank you guys so much. You have a good day. See you tomorrow.